So today we are just boxing sparring, which we do every Friday night for an hour, and I have turned up tonight. So yeah, sparring only. This is the first round, so it's just a nice light touch bar, just getting warmed up for me on this one, and I'm training with someone that I've not trained with before, so we're just being nice and respectful, having a little feel out. So yeah, we spar for an hour, and it's 2 minutes on, 1 minute off. So at the end of that hour, you are definitely feeling the pace of an hour of sparring, and it's nice technical sparring. So you're not trying to kill each other. We're just trying to get the timing down, get our shots off, and just crispen up the boxing a little bit as well, as not everyone is just straight boxers. They come from all walks of life, kickboxing, MMA, etc., and some of them just box as well. But it's a great way to get the calories burnt for the summer and get fit as well. So I'm in the red shorts here, the very short red shorts to be fair, and I'm just working both my stances, as I like to be able to fight equally both ways, even though I'm traditionally a orthodox fighter with my left foot forward, and that's still my preference, but I think it's always good to be able to go from both stances, especially in kickboxing, as if your lead leg gets chewed up a little bit, sometimes you have to switch stance just so you don't get finished with leg kicks. So just trying to find my range here, using my head movement just to get out of the way of the shots, and even when we're not doing anything, we're just dummying with our feet as well, just to keep our opponent guessing. So second round now, I am going with Sasha, who's got really good head movement, as he's a shorter guy. So he's got to try and get past my long jabs. And yeah, I really liked his in and out movement in sparring today. So he's keeping that head off the centre line, just so it's harder for me to connect with that jab, which I really liked. And I'm just telling him now just to keep on moving his head so I don't keep popping him with the jab. So even when you're doing nothing, when you're boxing, you want to just be even little twitches off the shoulders, off the feet, off the hips, just keeps your opponent guessing. So yeah, they can't see so easily what you're doing. Now, I normally find a lot of time my right hand's quite low when I spar, but then as soon as I start pulling closer into range, then that will start coming up. But when my range is good, I'll let it come out. Sasha actually caught me with a really good shot there. And this is tricky actually for the shorter fighter to get past your jab when you are taller. And so in boxing, we can go as low as Sasha's going here, but in kickboxing, you would never do that, just because the kicks and the knees are coming as well. But Sasha wants to be exactly where he was just then, in tight on me, so the range isn't as much of a problem. So I'm just trying to keep my head moving a little bit because Sasha bursts in with his shots. And at the end of every spar, we always give each other a hug, as it's all good fun, we're all friends, and we're just trying to learn and trying to keep the injuries to an absolute minimum. There's always a balance with sparring between training hard and not getting injured, and sort of not going hard enough. And hopefully we found the right spot now. Definitely in my earlier days, it was every spar was pretty much like a fight, but which is great, but the only problem is you get injured a lot, especially as you get older, it's then harder to recover. So there's a happy ground to be had, and we only really sort of take it up a lot when someone's literally 6 weeks before a fight. Otherwise, we're just trying to get our reps in, get our conditioning going, and try and keep as many brain cells as possible as well. So this guy I'm sparring with now, he's actually got really good head movement, and he's done quite a bit of boxing. So once again, I'm just showing both stances here. He's got a really good jab, which he caught me with a couple of times, I believe, in this round. So the tricky thing about when someone is a switch hitter, like which I'm doing now, I'm switching from orthodox to southpaw, you always want to try and move away from the backhand. So I'm now in orthodox, I want to be circling off to my left hand side, so they're coming away from my right hand shot, otherwise they I can draw them into my power. And if someone keeps switching all the time, sometimes that's hard in the middle of a spar. So once again, I'm just using my head movement there just to get out of the range, and I can see Matt and Steve in the boxing shorts having a lovely spar there, and to absolutely have great boxing matches every time I'm sparring. So now I am with Matt, and Matt has a fantastic jab, which you see him pump out 2 straight away. Very educated jab, and sometimes it doesn't even look that fast, but it always finds the marker just because of decades of throwing that shot. And look, like every time I throw that jab to the body, he's straight back with that jab to the head. So I'm always trying to sort of get out of range, get my head off the centre line, or parry off with my right hand to beat that jab. Once again, yeah, lovely double jab there from Matt stepping in. It's by far his best shot. And I love training with him because the jab is the key to the door to everything. Good, if you Matt threw a nice across my body there. So I'm just trying to use the jab back on Matt now, keeping him guessing. And sometimes I'm sort of leaning into my back foot, but my actual lead foot is actually quite close to him. So as soon as I rock forward, I'm in range, but it can make people feel like I'm not in range, especially when we're just boxing and we haven't got to worry about takedowns and lifting up your leg for the kicks. So throw a little jab to Matt's body there, and after I land a good jab to the body, then I want to sometimes come high with the left hand, as sometimes people's hands drop. That's good head movement there by Matt, rolling underneath my hook and then parrying off my jab as well. Once again, see, even though I haven't thrown anything there, I'm still making people guess what's coming, just with a little twitch from the shoulder, a little twitch from the hip. Go high, low, mix up your shots. Sometimes jab to the head as they come in, sometimes the left hook to the head. That's a great spar as always with Matt. Now I am training with Steve. Steve's got such fluid, great boxing. It's always a pleasure to spar with him. And his movement in and out is really, really good. Makes it very hard to hit because he's very elusive. Steve just throws a great cross to my body there. I just managed to get out of the way of Steve's jab, as he's got that real in and out motion going. So just throw some light shots there, so that get a little sensory overload going. That was a great jab again by Steve. Once again, mixing those stances, trying to keep my opponent guessing. I just managed to get out of the way of those 2 jabs just by rocking my head back and that cross. Just throw an uppercut hook cross there towards Steve. That was actually a really good hook by Steve. Once again, keeping your opponent's guessing, very important. So just twitching. If you're feeling coming in, pull back. That's it, get your head out of range. If we're just boxing, obviously MMA can change a little bit. Steve's got a super quick jab and left hook, just like Matt. So I'm always aware of that. That was a really good out of the way there by Steve and block. That was a lovely little penetration forward. A good crisp 2 jabs by Steve. That was a lovely little combination there as well. Once again, we always give our friend a little hug afterwards. As you know, we are punching each other in the face, but at the end of the day, we're all friends. We're all just here to learn, get fit. And you've got to keep your ego at the door. So now I'm training with Dev. Dev actually trains with ankle weights on, so he's got ankle weights here, and he says when he takes it off he feels a little faster, as he hasn't got, I think it's 1 kilo on each leg, which is good for your leg conditioning and fitness as well. Dev caught me with a good jab there. Once again, I'm just faking to the head, then going to the body, and then as someone comes in, just throwing that counter hook. I'm switching stance again there. Nice little rush in by Dev, get some body shots off. So I'm just faking out some shots. Switching up my stance again, so I'm in southpaw stance and I switch back to orthodox. Just trying to get out of the range of Dev and stop that rushing. So I just throw a jab, head, jab, body there, which is one of my favourite shots. Dev in tight again, working. So a double right hand there, jab to the body. And just trying to catch Dev as his head was down there, and then pushing in. There's a wild swing there by Dev, and luckily I managed to get out of the way of it. And all love and respect at the end of the spar again. So I'm training with a new guy actually now I've never trained with before, which is always interesting. I always like to go a little bit light when it's my first time training with someone. You just got to just sort of try and work out, how hard they want to go, and almost sort of let them sort of hit me with how hard they want to go, and then I'll just match that. And I think it's good gym etiquette to do that. You don't want to start blasting someone with, reasonably hard shots if you've never trained with them before. So I'm just pulling out the range of that shot there, and once again get my head out and just throwing a few jabs and a cross back, and just moving my head there, getting it off the centre line, which is a lot more important, especially when we are just boxing. So through my cross there and double jab. So just throw a little shot to the body there and an overhand there. So just parried off. So once again, just keeping them guessing just through like a moving left hook there, which I quite like when I'm slightly out of range. Once again, switching my stances. It's a good way as well, if your shoulder's getting tired on your lead side, when you switch stances, you start pumping out your new jab. It can keep you going for longer, especially as, like I say, we are sparring for an hour tonight. So fitness does become a factor, especially towards the latter part of training. So just trying to find that head there nice and light, and just through my fancy uppercut I like. And just through a double right hand. So once again, it's jab high, jab low, which is a nice combo, reasonably safe as well. And show respect to your friend at the end of the round. So the guy I'm training with now actually has quite a nice tight guard. And I'm a little bit taller, so once again I'm just trying to find that range, keeping at the end of my jab. And that's always the battle there. When you're the shorter person, you've got to try and get your head off the centre line and get into a range you can hit. But if you're taller, you want to try and use that jab as much as possible, keep them at range so you can hit them but they can't hit you, and just keep your head just off, out of range. So just for a nice little light combo there. Just pulled out of that right hand, and that's why it's good to have good head movement, otherwise I would have caught that one flush to the chin. Now I'm just giving my friend a little bit of coaching here just to try and attempt to get his head moving a bit more so I don't keep catching him with the jab on the way in, as he's the shorter fighter. And he did a good job there getting his head off that centre line, and he actually caught me with a jab, which was really good. And that was a good cross to the body I caught me with there, and 2 jabs to myself to the head, and just for a light overhand just to show me it's there. Once again, just keep stabbing the floor with your foot, and it can make your jab land more when you actually do throw it, if you're dummying it a few times. So just a little 2-shot combo there. Sometimes I'm lifting that right hand up then, it's just to sort of get a little read and get them guessing. So coming into our next round, and just throw a double jab, and then I get one straight back, and just managed to pull off of that. That was actually a good shot he caught me with it on the way in. Once again, just managed to get my head off of that. That was a good roll into left hook. Once again, in boxing we can get away with that. In Thai boxing you wouldn't, as you've got to watch out for the knee up the middle when you go that low. Just got out of those double jabs, but they're great shots. So just throwing a jab lead hook there. Just managed to get out of the way of that overhand just by leaning back. That was a good cross to the body. Once again, just pulled off of that jab cross, and just showing both stances again here, keep my opponent guessing. That was a good cross to the body he caught me with. I just throw just some light shots here, just because I could feel perhaps he's getting just slightly tired. You want to be a good training partner. That was a good 3-shot combo there to the body, and a really good quick counter jab and cross. Once again, just throwing my jab to the head, jab to the body, which is one I like, and just showing some shots to the head, then hitting the body after. Double jab, once again a few fakes, just to keep your opponent guessing, and just pulled off of that right hand, and just throw the uppercut. So we're coming into the last round now, as unfortunately my phone cut out after this, so all the latter half unfortunately didn't record, which was a shame, as things, as it come to a close, always starts to heat up a little bit more, and we start sparring a bit harder, knowing that the finish is nearly in sight. So once again, just through my jab to the head, jab to the body, and cross right there. And once again, just guessing, keeping my opponent guessing. And I do like that rear uppercut fake. Once again, switching to southpaw. Just trying to beat that hand parry into jab, which is always a nice safe bet. And just through that jab to the body. Double jab, and then just get out. Bit of head movement. As you feel him coming in, try to headland across there, but he did really well getting away from that. That's good head movement again there, getting away with those shots. And just trying to make sure that jab don't land. Once again, I can feel my training partner's getting slightly tired, so I'm not going crazy with the power, just touching. And he got me with a good rear body hook there. So that is the end of sparring for today's bit. Please like, subscribe, and comment.